So here we go. Here we go. Today, a key match. Key match Afghanistan versus Australia. The question that we are asking on this particular show, Bharat, Shomik, Gargi, myself, I think Vaibhav and Rohit might also join. Can Afghanistan set up a dream semi final with India in Dubai? That's the question we are asking. Number one. Number two, we are also launching the Trailblazers Conclave today with a press conference in Calcutta at 4 p.m., where Michael Clark, the former Aussie captain, will be joining us on a video link. And Michael will answer the questions that have been sent to us by media from across the country. So we are launching that at 4 p.m. with the press conference, and we will stream it at 5 p.m. So the interview with Michael. Now, there might be one change here because I was told by Shubhen Raha, the president of the CSJC, that internet might be an issue there. If that is, we will pre-record with Michael at 3 p.m. But in either case, Michael Clark will answer all of the questions sent to us by national media. And we will be launching the Trailblazers Conclave press conference today. But coming back to the Champions Trophy, Rohit also joins us. Shomik, I'll start with you. Afghanistan versus Australia. Are you giving the Afghans a chance, especially after the way they played against England? Do you think they have it in them to beat Australia?
100%. They can beat any side. In fact, I was listening to a very good TV show in Pakistan, and Wasim Akram, Walker Yunus, and Ajay Jadeja were the panel. And therein, Walker Yunus put forward a question to Wasim, saying that can Afghanistan beat Australia? And Wasim Bhai completely shot Walker down, saying, of course, 100% they can beat. And then Ajay Jadeja chipped in and reminded Walker that over the last few years at ICC events, Afghanistan have won more matches than Pakistan. So, so from that point of view, and the way they played, Afghanistan in white ball cricket are a force to reckon with. I don't know how will the weather play because it's been raining in Pakistan in several parts of Pakistan. I don't know how will the weather play, but from fans' perspective, especially here in Dubai and India Australia semi-final, of course that would be of great magnitude. But from fans' perspective, from the perverse perspective, and India versus Afghanistan semi-final will draw more crowds.
Rohit, is it right to say that it's Australian batting versus Afghanistan spin?
Could be. It's. I think the way the Afghani players have chipped in as far as their last 2-3 tournaments are concerned. If you talk about the 2023 World Cup, the 2024 T20 World Cup, it's more about a more all round performance as far as Team Afghanistan is concerned. They are not specifically dependent on their spinners only, that they will, yes, that will be their strength, that will be the power they are backing on. But I think the way their batters are chipping in, the way their spinners are doing, and the way their fast bowlers are doing, I think it's a contest where you will see all of that coming. Not only the Australian batting lineup or the Afghan spin in this context. And as Shramikda rightly said, there is a heavy chance of rain also, and we all know that a 20-over game is mandatory to get a result out of it. So I think as far as this particular game is concerned, I think overall a all-round kind of performance needed for Afghanistan. For Australia, yes, they need to pull up their best game in this particular part of the competition, but I think it's more of a all-round abilities rather than taking Australia's batting and Afghanistan spinners.
Bharat, if I take from what Rohit is saying, that it's ultimately going to be an all-round contest. But if you see that World Cup match, it was almost an individual this thing from Glenn Maxwell. Afghanistan had it in control, 90 for 7, and then Glenn Maxwell with that 200. So it's not as if Afghanistan has not come close. They have. Afghanistan has time and again pushed Australia. So if they are able to do it without Cummins, Hazelwood, and Stark, if Afghanistan is able to do it, it'll be a big moment. How are you setting this game up, Bharat?
See, you talked about Glenn Maxwell. There itself lies the point that Australia have a lot more experienced batting lineup in ODI cricket than the English batting lineup. If you look at the English batting lineup, Jamie Smith, Harry Brook, Phil Salt, they have only played about 20, 10, 5 games. So these Australians understand the tempo of ODI cricket a lot better than the English batters. On that flat pitch, England should have chased T26, but they didn't understand the tempo of ODI cricket. But the Australians understand it a lot better. That is one thing that will go against Afghanistan. Second is the pitches in Pakistan have been flat. So if Afghanistan to win, they have to again win the toss, bat first, get about 330, reduce Australia to say maybe 400 or something on those lines, and then for the spinners to choke. Last time around, the spinners couldn't choke. Someone like Glenn Maxwell and their pace bowlers bowled exactly where he wanted it to be because he wasn't really moving around in the crease. They bowled exactly where he wanted it to be, straight lines instead of going slightly outside off. So they can't lose the plot like that. So it comes down to Afghanistan winning the toss, getting 330, and then if someone like Glenn Maxwell or something on those lines, someone like English attacks them, then they can't lose the plot in that fashion. So that is where I think it comes down to.
Gary, say what Bharat is saying, exactly something similar was said by Michael Clarke yesterday when he said that yes, our bowling is inexperienced, but when it comes to our batting, we have one of the best batting lineups for this format. We have tremendous experience in the batting lineup, and whatever total another side puts up on the board, this batting is capable of chasing it down, and they know how to win ICC contests, which makes it easier for Australia. Is that going to be a key marker today between Australia and Afghanistan?
Oh, absolutely. And I said this in one of our shows as well, is that one thing that scares me is underestimating Australia, and that's the case. Yes, Afghanistan has what it takes to cause an upset, to defeat an Australia, but at the same time, like Bharat said, I think he put it really well when he said that Australian batters, the current lineup that they have, even though there is a bit of inexperience in the team, they understand the tempo of ODI cricket very, very well. And that's what makes them, one of the best chasing sides in the world. And Bharat, like Bharat said, if they're winning the toss first, I think that's the best thing that could happen to Afghanistan in this match, and put Australia to bat and bundle them out under maybe 270, 280, 260. Is the kind of target I'm looking for when it comes to Australia, because they will go for it. They will go bang bang, and at the same time, Afghanistan, because they have been so brilliant. Look at the way that they played against England. I do see a chance of them causing an upset against Australia.
वैभव, मुझे ये बताओ, रोहित ने कल ये पॉइंट किया था, एंड आई थिंक रोहित मेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट कि अगर हम इंग्लैंड वाला मैच देखें, अगर हम इंग्लैंड वर्सेस अफगानिस्तान मैच देखें, Afghanistan won without Rashid Khan playing a key role. Ibrahim Zadran, Azmatullah Omarzai, Mohammad Nabi, even at this age, 40 of 24. So if you see, it was Rashid Khan who was more a sidekick in that game. Is this what Afghanistan cricket was in search of? That we are there without a Rashid Khan. We are there without a Mohammad Nabi. And does that kind of give... Rohit made this point yesterday, and I think he made a very important point there. Vaibhav.
Yeah, we have been talking about this, that, the day Afghanistan defeated England, we were speaking about this, me and Rohit Bhaiya, that they won without Rashid Khan bagging 3 or 5 wickets or putting some runs with the bat. It was about Ibrahim Zadran, it was about Azmatullah Omarzai, and it was about, the small contributions like Hashmatullah Shahidi also played his role, his innings of 40 and his partnership with, Ibrahim. Because they lost 2 wickets early, and after that they had Hashmatullah Shahidi played a role. He forged a partnership with Ibrahim Zadran as an experienced campaigner. As a senior partner, he guided Ibrahim at the start of the innings when there were 2 quick wickets. So I think it was now Afghanistan cricket is all about bringing a collective effort, not just about 1 or 2 performances. Earlier, World Cup, it was about Rashid Khan, a Mujibpur Zadran or a Mohammad Nabi winning games for them, their spinners doing well. But now you look at the last couple of years, it's about their pacers also coming up the ranks. The likes of Fazal Haq Farooqi, Naveenul Haq, they are doing well. Even a Fareed Malik, you remember his spell in the game against India in Bengaluru, which Rohit Sharma won, that's 100 he scored. So it's not just about spinners now for Afghanistan. It's about the fast bowlers, batters all coming together. You have a world class all rounder like Azmatullah Omarzai. I think he is second. He is the second best seam bowling all rounder after Hardik Pandya in white ball cricket. Given the performances that he has put up in the last 2 years, is something remarkable. So now Afghanistan is acting like a collective unit, and that's why they are winning games in ICC tournaments.
Shumik, coming from, so the consensus here is Australia has more experience. A rounded off effort is needed, as pointed out by Rohit. Bharat said experience, Gargi said experience, but everyone, all of you guys are giving Afghanistan a chance. That itself is progress. That itself is progress. Moving on from Afghanistan and Australia, set up the India story, Shumik. News point wise, what is India's plan today? Because yesterday the teams did not practice. Is India practicing? New Zealand practicing? What is happening between you and Rohit? First you, then Rohit. Set it up for our viewers.
India will be practicing, and it's a bit surprising that India will not be practicing tomorrow. They will have a full training session today in the evening, and before that, KL Rahul will do the pre-match press conference 2 days before the match. So tomorrow, India have decided to cool their heels. It's a bit unusual. Usually, you don't skip training on match day -1, but that's the way it is. They have been playing almost non-stop cricket. Australia test, some of the players, and a lot of these players were in Australia also, followed by the white ball series in against England, and now here. So absolutely, they are managing their training schedule, which is absolutely fine. New Zealand will train today in the afternoon from 1:15, from 1:30 local time, and they will have a media session also during the practice. New Zealand will train tomorrow as well, but their timing, I think Eddie has sent me the timing. I will check. I cannot remember. Eddie has sent me the timing. I will check tomorrow. They will have a practice session. But this is the way it is. And 2 days back, Shubman Gill was down with a mild viral, but he has recovered and he came back, did a one-off training. He went alone to the ICC Academy yesterday, did some batting drills, so which means he is absolutely fine. But Indian team management absolutely are taking no chances with anybody, and they are keeping Rishabh Pant ready. Let's see, a couple of changes are on the cards for the New Zealand game. Very likely Arshdeep Singh for Mohammad Shami and Varun Chakravarti for Ravindra Jadeja. Whether there will be a third change, we have to wait.
Rohit Juglan said it yesterday, and he got it right, that Shubman Gill, he was clear that Shubman Gill is fine, and that was proved because Shubman Gill went and trained at the ICC Academy. So good news break there. And he was the first to put that out also, that Shubman Gill, in fact, in our work group, that Shubman Gill is training at the ICC Academy. Rohit, if India is training today, what was it and why was it that he would go and train alone for a day? He's been in stellar form. He doesn't need that, but he still went. Does it show commitment? Does it show that, oh, he wants to get it back and continuously be in sync? Because there is a full-fledged training today. Your updates from Shubman Gill. So clearly, you were right, he's going to play. But this whole training session of him going alone, how do you describe that?
Just part of his practice sessions. I remember earlier also he did the same thing. There were few occasions that were when and Muryada, you yourself covered a lot of cricket. You know this, at certain point of time there were the mental fatigues are there. Sometimes your body is not actually giving you that right kind of signals that whether you have to toil it again or not. And before that also, if you see the way he batted here, almost every match he's scoring runs. The sun is very hard here. He was feeling the cramps the other day also, while scoring his 100 against Bangladesh. So there were these all little things coming up. But on that particular day, he chose not to practice. Anything could be a factor, maybe some body fatigue, or maybe some just wanted to take rest, or maybe sometimes with players like Shubman Gill and Virat Kohli, and there are others also. So what's very clear with Virat is that he didn't practice if he wants until and unless he wants to do some specific thing in his batting, he don't practice. Means he only come to the practice when he want to do anything specific. He doesn't come for the sake of it, that today is the India's practice session, so I have to go. And this I heard it from a lot of times from him, that if I need to do something in my game, only that particular point of time I'll go to practice. It's not like that it's a specific time given to the Indian team, that look, at 15.00 hours to 18.00 hours you have to practice and Virat Kohli will arrive. It's not like that with. So I think for Shubman also, I think it's very clear that if he want to do anything specific in his game, and he really really love to bat, as far as the net batting is concerned and the other part of it. So I think there is nothing specific about why he missed out on that particular day. But yesterday he was very specific about playing the spinners, playing the there was a few bunch of net bowlers also. Abhishek Nair also traveled with him, and they on the very similar practice pitches. He spent few hours, and there was nothing specific that why he didn't choose on the other day and came to practice yesterday, Bujada.
Yeah, I see the kind of commitment in Shubman Gill that I've seen with somebody like a Kohli in the past. So there is that kind of commitment that I see. Someone's asking why some Indian journalists are doing the kind of reporting that they are in Pakistan. You're talking about Nikhil and Vikrant. They're doing absolutely fine. Sport is never about pitch reports. Sport is also about culture. Sport is also about sociology. Sport is about socialization. Sport is about what is not happening within the stadium precinct. And I think they're doing first-class work, because I've seen a couple of videos. Unfortunately, don't have the time for more, but I'm absolutely fine. That's why I've encouraged everyone, not simply them. Or when Vikrant used to work with me, I used to tell him, go and do it, because that's how you learn. I've told all my people here that when you are doing sport, that is why there is the Cultural Olympiad. The Cultural Olympiad is about the extra things that is not there within a stadium. That's how an Olympic Games is an Olympic Games, with Monk. So don't complain whatsoever. Bharat, yes, you've answered this about the holistic Afghanistan point. I'll come to you, Shomik, in a second. Let Bharat answer this. But specifically, Noor and Rashid. I was watching Noor the other day. Some really good balls. Yes, I know it's Pakistan. I know the conditions don't suit them. But still, Noor and Rashid, come Dubai, Bharat. If they somehow make it in a situation where they get a pitch which is of slight help, Rashid and Noor can be a real handful. Bharat Ramraj?
Yeah, in these conditions, if the ball is stopping a bit, then there would be different proposition. For example, Rashid Khan, even if he gets a little bit of grip, it helps his leg break, the one that kind of leaves the right hander. Otherwise, it just goes straight on, and the batter tends to play it reasonably well. But if there's any little bit of grip, then Rashid Khan definitely comes into the equation. So in these conditions, there would be a different proposition. Again, it comes down to a little bit of dew. It needn't be much huge amount of dew. Even if there's a little bit of dew, then there would be a little bit of sheen on the wicket. Then the conditions would be different while you're batting second. So yeah, if dew isn't there, much of dew isn't there, like what we saw when India played Bangladesh, then those two, Rashid Khan and Noor Ahmad, can cause enough ripples in the opposition's batting lineup.
I agree. Yes, Shomik, you wanted to make a point before I go to Gargi and Vaibhav?
Yeah, just regarding Shubman Gill, his real test starts now. He has been in absolutely brilliant form in matches and in the nets, and the ball is flying off his bat. We have seen at close quarters at the nets, but be it against England in the home series or the first two matches here, he was not stifled in the middle overs. England didn't have a spinner beyond Adil Rashid. Bangladesh had two spinners, but very average spinners. Pakistan had just one top class, specialist spinners. Going on from this New Zealand game, he will face three spinners who can stifle them in the middle overs. We have seen what I saw in Sri Lanka during that ODI series. Once he got stuck in the middle overs, he got out in ungainly fashion. So he will have to get out of that. Can he do that? I think my tomorrow's preview for Sunday's game should be based on this Shubman pick.
Vaibhav, Shubman Gill, somebody is saying Rohit, don't compare, etc. No one's comparing. No one's comparing. But Shubman Gill in this particular format is clearly India's go-to man and could well be the player after Kohli who becomes that level of dominant in the world. If there's anybody who we have to say that this guy has shown that kind of caliber in this format, and I'm repeatedly saying in this format, not Test cricket, it is Shubman Gill. Vaibhav.
Definitely, it is Shubman Gill, and look at his past performances. He didn't had a great World Cup, 2023 World Cup, but after that, post that, you look at his performances, and the great part about his batting is the maturity. Even if the wickets are falling, you see him not losing his cool, and the shot precision, the shot making, and the strike rotation is a part of his gameplay. I have seen him against Bangladesh when wickets were falling. He didn't lose his cool. He didn't play a rash shot like a Virat Kohli or someone else. That's the great thing about Shubman Gill. That it's not just about setting up big totals or churning out big scores for himself. It's about holding up one hand and taking the deep innings deep long in a run chase. Now we used to talk about Virat Kohli when it comes to ODI run chases. I think now it's time for Shubman Gill. Now we are talking about Shubman Gill and him pacing the run chases really well. If you look at the England series, if you look at the first couple of games, you see him playing the vital role in the run chases. Obviously, Virat Kohli played the brilliant knock in the other game against Pakistan, but you see Shubman Gill, even before the start of the Champions Trophy, we said that Shubman Gill will end up as the highest run scorer. There is a Virat Kohli, there is a Rohit Sharma, there was Kane Williamson, but we said Shubman Gill. Why? Because Shubman Gill has done enough, and we have seen him maturing as a cricketer, doing well. The basics are whatever he is doing in there, and the basics he is doing it really well. And the best part, again, I am saying, is the way he's maturing as a cricketer. You see, every time he walks out to bat, you see he's growing as a cricketer, he's maturing as a cricketer, and he's the next big thing when it comes to ODI cricket.
Same question to you. I mean, a lot of talk there on Shubman Gill and the way forward, and I think Rohit has repeatedly made this point about Gill, and we've talked at length about Gill. But when I see Australia coming back to that game, who would India prefer, Afghanistan or a depleted Australia? Dubai conditions.
Dubai conditions, I think they would pick a depleted Australia. I think that would be an easy. Not easy, but if we were to compare Afghanistan and Australia, Afghanistan spin, when we talk about in the Dubai conditions, that could be a threat.
By the way, somebody is saying no rain in Lahore, guys. So hopefully there is no rain. If there is no rain, it's great. But there was also a prediction for rain between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Yes, go on. Sorry.
Yes. So I think India would take on Australia any day. And at this point, if we were to compare an Australia that has come into the Champions Trophy versus an India that is in red hot form, India takes the cake, and I think India will go in as the favorites, even though Australia always have that winning mentality in ICC tournaments, always come up at the top somehow. But I think a depleted Australia, if we were to choose between Afghanistan and Australia.
India is going to win the Champions Trophy under the captaincy of Rohit Sharma. Wow, it's a statement.
Looks like it.
I mean, India can. Michael said India are favorites. So yeah, Sena mein kya? I can't even read.
सेना में ओडीआई का भी उसका परफॉर्मेंस कुछ नहीं है. He's talking about Shubman Gill.
रोहित आंसर करो यार.
But Pata pitch player. Come on, guys.
No, means yes, there is some merit to that point. It's not like that. Yes, he has to score runs. Overseas also, specifically, talking about Australia, England, New Zealand, South Africa. But I think for the last few years, if you see, he hasn't played a lot of ODI games in overseas countries. The Sena countries, the South Africa, the England, the New Zealand, and the Australia. So I think but if I haven't seen the question. So if he has written that Pata pitch ka player or something like that, then he has to see his innings in all different phases. The Bangladesh 100 is not a Pata wicket. Come on, it's a wicket. जिसमें गेम जैसे जैसे आगे बढ़ता गया, it went from bad to worse, means as far as a batting, a batter is concerned. So वो ball बहुत grip हो रहा था पहले घंटे से, अगर आप उसे दूसरे घंटे और दूसरे घंटे से तीसरे घंटे में कंपेयर करोगे, you look all the batters around Shubman Gill and you will see that everyone is struggling. But वो 100 जो है वो पाटा विकेट का 100 नहीं है. The game he played against Pakistan was not a pata wicket, 40 odd runs. So I don't think that this statement is right. But yes, as an ODI batter, as someone who playing Test cricket regularly, he has to play in overseas conditions, specifically in Sena.
I'm tired of hearing this, that India has unfair advantage. 1975, England had unfair advantage. World Cup was on home soil. 79 home soil. 83 were home soil. They did not win. They did not. It is
Even
not
the
as
three
if World
WTC
Cup on home
finals in
soil means
England.
they will win. Hanji?
Even the 3 WTC finals.
Yeah, I mean, come on. They've not won. England 1975, West Indies, Australia final. 1979, not England. 83, again, England did not even make the final. So what are we talking about and trying to... And our problem is, Indian fans try to berate the success of the Indian team. For what? An English football team, the moment they win one match, they start crying, trophies coming home. And we start to say, "Arey, we are winning unfair advantage." I don't understand this. Where is, and why do we not have national pride? Let's give this to Shomik. What is the question?
Yes, Gill is good, but don't do repeat of 23 World Cup. Kab tak Rohit Sharma rahega? Till the time Rohit Sharma was playing in the 23 final, score was 350. Please, डर के मत खेलना बाकी लोग.
Shomik, बताओ भाई. तुम डर के मत बताओ, खुल के बताओ.
The fact is that yes, having Rohit Sharma at the top is a big advantage. Even if he's scoring a quick fire 30, he is setting up the momentum for the entire innings and allowing the rest to bat at their own pace. But Shubman Gill, see, make no mistake, he is the batsman for the future, and he has incredible talent. He is incredibly talented. At the same time, Shubman Gill, the time has come for Shubman Gill to prove himself in tougher conditions. Like Shubman Gill failed in the ODI series in Sri Lanka, where the ball turned square at the Premadasa. So we don't know how he would fare in the ODIs in Sena countries, given that he hasn't played that many ODIs in that part of the world. But you play what is in front of you. It is not in your hands. As of now, what Shubman Gill has been playing is fabulous. The way he has been caressing the ball, I will not say hitting the ball. He has been caressing the ball. And sometimes he is reminding me of Muhammad Azharuddin in his form. He is the touch is that depth, that classy. So Shubman Gill, obviously he will do, but that's for the future. Right now, if Shubman Gill anchors the team to title triumph, being the highest run getter of the tournament, then that needs to be celebrated.
28th February, Boryada, were you there at the Virat Hobart Classic? No, I wasn't. I remember I was in Mumbai doing some commentary at that point in time for Star. Forgotten what event it was. Maybe ISL. Because I used to do a lot of football at that point in time. No, I wasn't in Hobart. Let's take closing comments. I'll start with you, Gargi. So Afghanistan, Australia, prediction?
Oh my gosh. Don't make me do this, but even though Afghanistan have a really good chance, even though they have what it takes to cause an upset, I want Afghanistan to win, but my gut feeling is saying Australia.
So heart Afghanistan, mind Australia. Rohit Juglan?
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. I really want to see Afghanistan going all the way. Means till no, not possible that as far as the permutations and combinations allow. But yeah, I want Afghanistan to beat Australia, and then India will take care of them.
Krishnendu, I'll take that question later. Let's, wicket keeper, etc. We can take that later. And what is a proper wicket keeper? Somebody will say KL Rahul is also doing, a proper wicket keeper now, having done that job for a while. I mean, let's not be too discriminatory of anyone. I think They are going with KL Rahul, who's had a very good World Cup in 23, right? So, and he's played his part with the bat also. So Rishabh Rishabh is a once in a generation player, make no mistake. But Bharat Ramraj, your thoughts? Australia, Afghanistan. Can we see Afghanistan win this one?
I'll give Australia the slight edge, I guess, because a lot of things have to go in Afghanistan's favor. That is, win the toss, bat first, post about 330. Yes, they have the template now because Ibrahim Zadran has been scoring hundreds. So they have to post about 320, 330, and then hope that the Australian experienced batting lineup, that I have to add, experienced whatever batting lineup shouldn't make the kind of mistakes that England did on a flat pitch by making silly errors. So a lot of things have to go in Afghanistan's favor. That is why I would give Australia the slight edge.
Vaibhav, I'll give the closing words to Shomik.
I think it will all depend on the conditions. If there is a assistance for the pacers and spinners, then I think I will give Afghanistan the edge, because Australia's batting, although they chased down 350 plus on the other day, I think they still have a some weakness in their batting lineup when it comes to playing spin. Yes, Josh Inglis plays spin well, Steve Smith plays spin well, but I think still their batting lineup is a bit fragile. And on wickets where there is a help of bowlers, I think Afghanistan will hold the edge. So, but if it's a flatter wicket, Australia all the way. I think Australia has that batting lineup. Although they have a depleted fast bowling, attack, still I would back Australia just because it's an ICC tournament and somehow they managed to get through to the knockouts in ICC tournaments. So Australia for me.
Shomik, final comments?
See, from a fan's perspective, I can never support a country where women are marginalized, where they run a sex apartheid, and where their women's cricketers are in exile. And you can never separate sports with politics, but purely from cricketing logic between Australia and Afghanistan today, Australia by the skin of their teeth.
Okay, so what? We just want a good game. We just want a game that Afghanistan and Australia battle it out, and no one should be sort of have to lose out because of the weather, because the weather has impacted games, and you don't want an Afghanistan to feel, oh, we could have done the job, but it's because of the weather that we failed. Let Australia beat them fair and square and go through, or let Afghanistan at least have a chance. Our colleagues in Dubai will follow the New Zealand practice, will follow the Indian practice. Somebody asked me about the conclave. We are launching the conclave today at a press conference at the Calcutta Sports Journalists Club at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. India's biggest sports congregation by a country mile. 37 athletes under one roof. Cricketers, Olympians, Paralympians, hockey stars, chess players, everybody. It has never happened before. Keep an eye for the press conference. Michael Clark will join us and answer questions from the media. And every day now, there will be a build-up. But for the moment, that's all we have. Our Dubai team will report on the New Zealand practice and the India practice as the team in India gets ready for the Trailblazers Conclave. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Keep following our platform because multi-sport will be at its best.